live show, and I'm so glad you guys are here with me. Let me tell you something up front. God's economy does not look like Wall Street's economy. It doesn't look like Forbes' economy. It doesn't even look like Alex Hormozi's bulk buy Guinness World Record breaking economy. Okay. The world system is built on fear, manipulation, and perception. God's system is built on obedience, stewardship, and multiplication. One burns you out, the other sets you free. Welcome so much. Welcome back to the Unapologetically Unstoppable Live show on Monday mornings. I'm your host, Jeanette Peterson, prophetic business strategist, here to show you how to build in God's economy every single Monday. So today we're going to break down how the heavens economy works versus what we saw this weekend. You were never lit. You were never meant to live bound by the ups and downs of man's system. You were meant to prosper in God's. Okay. You were meant to prosper in God's. So we're going to be talking today about four key pillars of what the kingdom economy looks like and how to replicate it in your business. So today, I want you to walk away with a clear understanding of how it works differently from the world's, the key mindset shifts that free you from scarcity and striving, biblical strategies to multiply resources and steward them with honor and integrity. Because Deuteronomy 8:18 says, "But remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the ability to produce wealth." And wouldn't you know, today is 8:18. Coincidence? Ain't no coincidences in the kingdom. So, number one, ownership. God is the source. Hormozi, his play worked because bulk buyers fronted the money. If you don't know what happened was he sold so many books based on this principle. I will sell you six, I will sell you 200 books for $6,000, but I'm just selling you codes. I'm selling you codes so that way you can sell them later on. But you know what? He didn't actually sell anything. He sold numbers on a piece of paper, which in the world's view is kind of genius. I'm selling you nothing for you to do something with later on, which most people don't do. And then you have to pay for shipping and handling. So you're giving me $6,000 now to buy shipping and handling later for this free gift that you're going to be giving people away. I'm giving you bulk. That to me is a scam of all scams. And I it's kind of genius if you're a scam artist. It's a genius scam. See, the thing is, he controlled the optics. He saw what it looked like. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, he sold more books. But even if people don't redeem those numbers, those coupons, if you will, then he still gets records for selling those books. Even if they never sell, even if they never leave his distribution center. In the kingdom economy, we don't have to manipulate optics because the owner, God, is the source. God is my source for everything. All of it is his. The earth is his, every resource is his, this Stanley is his, everything I have, everything I wear, everything I am is his. So every resource, every door, every opportunity belongs to him. So I don't need to manipulate everything if it already belongs to the Father. And because I belong to the Father, I have access to his stuff as long as he wants me to have it. The earth is the Lord's and everything in it. That's what Psalms 24:1 says. So I need you to ask God, Lord, where have I been acting like an owner instead of a steward? This morning in my faith call that we do every Monday in every one of my programs, we're all in one group. This is the faith activation on Mondays for the boot camp, for the accelerator, for the kingdom alignment and architect intensive. We talked about this morning. And you know what people were saying? What have I been acting like an owner instead of a steward? Some women said their houses. Some women said their businesses. Some women said their money. I don't own this money. I'm a steward. What would God want me to do with this? Would God want me to do this? Not, oh, I think I should do this. What would God want me to do? That's the difference between being a citizen of the kingdom and operating in kingdom economy as somebody that's placed in the marketplace versus just being a business owner. Because when you're a business owner, it's I, me. But when it's God's, it's God, 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 God. What? Follow, follow, follow. Surrender, surrender, surrender. Always, always, always. Right? It's different. It is a different vibe. You can't just manipulate people if you belong to the kingdom. So number two, the exchange. Seed time versus harvest time. Hormozi designed a clever redemption code exchange, but in God's economy, the exchange is different. It is seed and harvest. It is sowing and reaping. It is whatever you sow, you will multiply back in due season, which is money, time, obedience, whatever those things are. If you sow them, God will multiply them back in due season, right? As long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest shall not cease. That's what it says in Genesis 8:22. I was with my friend this weekend and she lives up in the woods and they've got fresh blackberries. She made us this delicious. It was a pork loin she got from Costco, but she marinated in fresh blackberries and she had this blackberry glaze that went over it. It was phenomenal. I wish I had a picture of it. It was so good. Um, but she was saying, well, her husband was saying when he went out to go pick the berries, that he could see some like fresh bear scat around. And we were also on the way up there reading The Wild Robot. And there's a part in there where she's talking to some of the little critters and they were like trying to help. She adopted a gosling. If you've never read The Wild Robot, it's a book for kids, okay? But in this story, the robot Roz adopted a gosling, doesn't matter why. She adopted the gosling. She knew that the gosling needed food. And so one of the people that she met, one of the other animals she met, said, "You're going to need a garden. And so if you need a garden, you need to go talk to the deers. The deers know how to garden." And so what the deer convinced everybody to drop their droppings in one central place so there would be a garden there. That's exactly what God does. He has us drop things that might not look like anything good, but after it goes in the soil, after it digs deep, it produces much fruit, right? I feel like God did that to me. He took me in my brokenness and in my shame, He buried me and He fixed me in the dirt. And as I've been rising up, as you're rising up, as you are being healed, you will produce much fruit. The fruit is not yours, the fruit is God's, right? The fruit is the fruit of the Spirit: peace, love, gentleness, self control, all the other fruits of the spirit, right? Those are the things that we produce once we are healed, once we are doing the things. So ask God, what seed do you want me to sow in this season? Some women said time with Him. Some women said thankfulness. I need to be more thankful in my life. Because this is not just about business. Your heart posture in the kingdom economy matters more so than anything else. Being surrendered completely, continuously matters more so than anything else in the kingdom economy. You can't be a kingdom business owner without that constant posture of asking God, what do you want from me? How do you want me to operate? Who do you want me to talk to? How do you want me to do these things? How do you want me to sow and reap? Who do you want me to sow to? What ministries do you want me to sow into? These are all questions that are God questions. We like to use our brain and think that we know, but we need to be asking the one who created the universe. Duh. Okay. Multiplication. Hormozi's strategy multiplied perception. Perception. 200 books sold, even if only 100 shipped. But in the kingdom economy, God multiplies reality. He takes loaves of fish and feeds thousands. He takes 2 talents and turns them into 4. When you faithfully steward what He's given, multiplication is not a marketing spin. It is just truth. It is just truth. When I'm done, I want God to say, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a little, I will set you over much." Do not despise small beginnings. You might have had this big, everybody I know in the kingdom who starts operating the kingdom, this is their story. I had this big thing and it was fantastic. And then it crumbled to the ground. And now I'm rebuilding with God as my foundation. Do not despise that starting over. Do not despise that small beginning. Do not despise what God is trying to work in you to bring you to more. The way you built was not sustainable for where He's taking you. So He had to rebuild that foundation. And He's going to multiply anything that He needs to in you so you can do what you've been called to do. I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about money specifically. I'm talking about the things. Multiply faith, multiply love, multiply obedience, right? Multiply surrender. So when you are continuously surrendered, when you're continuously having God show you what to do and you're following him, he's going to continually ask you to give him a little bit more. Give me a little bit more. Can you do this? Can I trust you? What is your heart saying? Is your heart ready for me to give you more? Prove it, right? And it's not because he wants you to be in a place of lack or anything like that, but he wants to make sure that you will not be tricked by the devil. You will not be swayed by anything the devil has for you. You will not be manipulated by the other side. He wants to know how strong you are in the kingdom. How much can he trust you with? It's a test. Can he test you with this little bit so I can double it? Yes or no? So I want you to ask God, am I multiplying what God entrusted me to buy? Sorry. Am I multiplying what God entrusted me or bearing it in fear? I was convicted this morning. I realized I was bearing something in fear, and I'm going to fix that today. And then number 4, distribution. Wealth is a mission. Money is a mission. Hormozi's was like a Trojan horse, right? It was about shifting risk and capturing margin, but the Kingdom Trojan horse is different. What he did was he made sure that every dollar that he spent in ads, which was millions of dollars, because every time I saw an ad, it was a different ad. I might have seen the same ad once or twice, but the filming, the distribution, the targeting, the retargeting, all of these things that he did to make sure that his ads were reaching the people that he needed to make the money was millions of dollars. So he didn't want to risk any of that money. Did he spend it up front? Yes, sure. But did he have a guarantee? Of course, he's a good businessman by world standards. He's not going to risk millions of dollars and not think it's going to work. God transfers wealth not so we can hoard it, but so we can distribute it. We are supposed to be part of the kingdom, so we are supposed to be his storehouses on earth. We are supposed to give abundantly. We're supposed to distribute wealth. We're supposed to have wealth come into us, make lots of money so we can distribute it back to the kingdom wherever God is calling us to do. As kingdom citizens, as people assigned to the marketplace, we all have different reasons why God wants us to do certain things and who we're supposed to affect. Everybody has a different thing. Like I know that I'm supposed to help send people to the mission field. I just know that. So when I have money, I make sure that I'm also distributing it to people who do that. I don't think that I'm supposed to do that, but I am supposed to help fund that. I am a storehouse for people on missions in other countries, going out to the different places. I know that. So there's something that you have been called to do. There's something that weighs heavily on your heart of how to affect the kingdom of God that you're assigned to the marketplace though. But what can your money do? What can that wealth do? He increases us so we can fund kingdom assignments and advance the gospel. I know that I have 2 little kids that I homeschool that I can't go to the middle of Africa and be out there. That's not what God called me to do. He called me to this mission field, the marketplace. But I know my money can go out there. I know my money can be trusted with these things. I know that my money can do whatever. And really, like we said before, it's not my money, it's God's money. I can just put it where it needs to go. You will be enriched in every way so that you can be generous on every occasion. That's what it says in 2 Corinthians 9:11. In every occasion. So I need you to ask God, Lord, who are you asking me to bless with the overflow you've entrusted to me? Who are you asking me to bless with the overflow you've entrusted to me? And we have to give when we don't have enough because it's not ours. Okay? So, which of these four pillars, ownership, exchange, multiply, or distribution, challenged you most today? Let me know in the chat because I would love to talk to you about what that looks like. Maybe give you some words of encouragement in the DMs or on a voice note, because I want you to know that this is all things that we're constantly working with, constantly struggling with, and Hormozi, he just likes to play on other people's lack of knowledge and make sure that he's on top, right? But as kingdom citizens, we are supposed to make sure that God is on top. Hormozi leveraged redemption codes to break records, but in the kingdom, God is calling us to leverage faith, obedience, and stewardship to break cycles of lack, poverty, and fear. If you're ready to stop striving in the world system and start striving in God's economy, then your next step isn't another hustle strategy. It's deeper alignment with his blueprint. And if you're ready to get your own unique blueprint, DM me or go to holyspiritblueprint.com so that way we can get your unique blueprint for what your business is supposed to be and how you are supposed to affect the marketplace. This is a one-on-one call with me where we get to talk about everything that God has ever done in your life, through your life, and figure out where God is taking you. Because sometimes those next steps get muddy. Sometimes we don't understand where God is taking us or where we've been and how it's going to help shape our future. So if you're ready to do that, go ahead and go to holyspiritblueprint.com, book your call, and I can't wait to talk to you guys. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Monday, and I will talk to you guys all next week.